All right, guys, back again. Today we're going to try to stain this guitar. Yesterday I was trying to stain it, but I got my famous migraines, 2 migraines in a row. It was awesome. Wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But I spent about 2 days, literally 2 days, mixing colors. You can see I got my red, blue. This is like a dark teal. That in the back is a light teal, and this is emerald green. And I went through the whole the whole spectrum of colors. I did everything from a teal to my purple and red, which I've called purple candy, which is what I've settled on as far as like I'm going to do the body and the neck. And I did this green here, different types of greens, but I didn't want to do a color that was just like one solid color, like a like a green or a blue or something. I wanted something with a lot of variety in it, something like this. This is actually like a crimson. I did the tip crimson in the back, the purple, so it could be a cool burst if maybe the outside of the guitar is the purple and then the inside you burst it to a crimson. But as you can see, I've been very busy, and now I think it's close to the time that we're going to go ahead and start staining this. I am a little bit apprehensive about it because I don't want to screw it up. Where is my body? The body is over here, which I've kept away from everything so there's no chance of spilling anything on it. And we're also going to do my neck. You can see I've taped off the neck here. We're going to go ahead and stain the back of the neck because the neck is flame maple and it looks pretty cool. I think it's going to look a lot better once it's stained up. But just to give you guys a quick demonstration of the color that I got here, because I think it's pretty cool. I looked around on a lot of PRS private stock because their quilts are pretty much legendary. You're probably not going to find a quilt better than the PRS private stocks. This is the one here which I'm actually going to do. I got my clear coat on it. This is the color. And I'm going to show you how to get this color because, frankly, this is the same one here. I think it's pretty awesome. That one's a little more blue than usual. You can see the difference here. Kind of the same thing, but only because the way that you get this is you do a red base and then you put blue over it and then you get this purple. But this one I used here, I used a teal base and then put red over it, and it's still pretty sticky because I was trying to see how the clear coat looks on it. But I'll just show you real quick. I should put some gloves on. I don't really want to get this dye on my fingers. But what you do is you mix up some red, and this is kind of like a crimson red. It's a pretty dark red, and when you dip it for the first time, it doesn't look that dark. It actually looks like it's somewhat pink. But if you dip it and then take it out and then dip it again, the more you dip it, the darker it's going to get. So if I dip this in here, just the first one, you can see that it's pretty red. This was kind of a pink earlier, but it's going to come out crimson right about there. So that's going to be your base. And what we'll do is this is going to be the first coat that goes over it. And then what we do is we're going to put a purple coat over it. It's actually a blue coat, but it's going to turn it. It's going to turn it purple. It's going to take a little bit for this to dry. So what happens is after this dries, I'm going to dip it in the blue. And I'll show you what my blue looks like. So it's a pretty light blue. If you look on the corner of the cup there, you can see it's like the blue I was showing you in my other video. Kind of like this blue here on this measuring spoons. And so what we do is we'll take and we'll dip it in this blue. And what happens is it's going to turn purple. It's going to turn this purple right here. Now, when you first do it, the purple is going to just, it's going to look really dark. And you're not really going to be able to see the actual red under it. So what you do is after the purple dries over the red, then we sand it back. And through the process of sanding, you can see the reds will start to come out. They're going to come out a lot in the lines, because that's where the base is sitting the deepest, is in the lines. So like this one right here, if I dip this in water, you would see it's really vibrant. But what we do is we're going to sand back the purple top, and that'll expose the red inside. And then after that, you should be done. You just sand it until you find, you know, how much of the highlight you want to come out. If you want it to be more purple or you want it to be more red, it's really up to you. There's a piece over here that looked really good, that you can see how the red sat deeper in the grain. See right there, that was a mix. But yeah, it's a really cool color. I really like it. You can see here I sanded it and brought out the reds and the circles there and the green with the purple over the top. And see, this is what it looks like when you're going to do it for the first time. I didn't sand this side, so I was testing sanded versus non-sanded. So that's the sanded side, and you can see the highlights in there. But when you don't sand it, it's just going to look like this. So it'll look like this, you'll sand it, and then these colors are going to come out. So you always want to have the highlight color that you want to be the first color. So if you were doing like this teal, and then you wanted like a color over the top of it, maybe a red or something, sand it back, and then the teal's going to come out. You're still going to have a little bit left of the highlights. Like right here, you can see really came out nice. I sanded this quite a bit to get the reds out. And I was afraid that it was going to kind of lose the shimmer effect if I sanded too much, or if I filled in, if I piled on too much stain. But as you can see, the shimmer is still there. I mean, you're still going to get that quilt effect. I mean, frankly, that's just sexy right there. Or sexy right there. So we are going to start the staining process. The video is probably going to exceed 10 minutes, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to prep the neck, probably start the neck first. Here's another, this is a really good example of it. This is really what you're aiming for, because this one had a blue base though. You can do blue base, red base, but I feel the red base is better because it's going to bring it out, the reds more. But it's up to you, and you can see the difference is kind of minimal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the neck, see how it looks. I'm not going to do it on the body until I have the neck finished up here, and I'm going to put the stain on, and we shall return. All right, guys. Well, oh my God, bad news. Man, I'm so fucking pissed off right now. I could put my fist through a wall. First of all, I really hate to throw my luthier under a bus, but this is some shit work. I mean, really, this is fucking garbage. I paid somebody for a service, and this service is fucking awful. Where he super glued down some of these areas, he just put the glue on and didn't even sand it after that. I mean, I know it's up to me to probably come back and do all the finish work, which I can fix this. It's just super glue. I'll sand it and restain it. Up here, he was telling me, I had some problems up here, and so he like schlocked a bunch of super glue all up in here, which I tried to sand in the beginning, which is fine. I can just go sand it out. But the problem with this guitar right now, that I cannot fix is that if you look at back here, this goes and then it goes over. It's one of the, it's not flat, it'll gradually bend over. And if you can look here, this fucking bubbling, there's air under this quilt where it wasn't glued down right. I mean, come on, man, really? You're fucking luthier and you can't do a fucking bend on a guitar? Really? So, I don't know, my only resort is to like cut this and put super glue in there and try to fold it down. God damn, I'm so mad right now. And it's not even because I screwed this up, it's because somebody else fucked it up. This is stupid, man. If I can't find a way to do this, I'm gonna ask for my money back. I mean, I've essentially, you know, this guitar has been ruined by somebody who supposedly does this for a living. I mean, really? So anyways, guys, that's the update. I don't even know what I'm gonna do now. I mean, it's so, you get pissed off to a point. I mean, even over here. Shit, buddy. I'm even not going to show you what he did to the back of the guitar. I'm not going to say anything, but when he clamped this down to put the quilt on, I mean, he put this thing through the fucking ringer. There are scratches all over the back of this guitar where he tried to put it in like a vise. I mean, look at this shit. Look at this fucking shit, man. Dude. I know it's a Chinese guitar, man, but come on, you know? Slow down. Yeah, man, I don't know. This guy, God, I hate to take someone to court, but I'm not going to take somebody to court over a $300 guitar, but God, I just had so high hopes for this, and somebody else fucked it up. So anyways, that's where it stands. I'll have to figure out what to do later.